So yeah, in continuation with the mm, Unix programming, you know, so we have completed the basics and the the filter and pipes, most programming, most commands actually. So from today onwards, we are going ahead with some scripting, wrapper script or shell script, or whatever you can call them. So we'll start with the simple scripting. Just to print some one-liner command and then go ahead and build little complex wrapper scripts. Uh, so okay, and if you want to go ahead and try out these scripts, into the proper Linux environment, then you can go ahead in AWS or Azure, okay, or GCP, and you can create EC2 instance, or the Linux machine on one of any one of the cloud environment, which as part of free tier, you know. So in AWS and as well as Azure, they'll provide some free tier machines for some of the, probably 1 year or something, right? And so that you need to understand, need to read out the conditions of how how much is the volume, or how much time they allow the free tier machines. Okay, so you can hook up to one of the machines and can try out these Unix scripting and learn. Okay, so do remember that this is the free tier, and also whenever you create any instance or any machines or any resources, for that matter, in any of the clouds. So while end of your practice, or you go ahead and remove those resources. Otherwise, they will have charges associated with that, those resources uses, right? So okay, let's go ahead with the simple scripting. So first script is let's just create in VI editor. Mostly we can go VI and file name, and then write the scripting commands. So let's say print, this is login info is the command file name. Let's and I'm printing, I'm giving few commands one after another in the in this wrapper script, okay, or a shell script. So the current date and time. So echo will as it is, it will print, okay, and then date. Date is the command in Unix, and will print the date. Okay, echo the number of users, WC hyphen L, who will give the logged in users, okay, at given point in time, and the personal status, who am I mean, it will give the detail of that particular logged in user. Okay, exit 0. You specify these things and you go ahead and execute this on terminal. So how we will execute this script? Okay, first of all, we need to provide the execution permission for. If you are using yourself, then provide for you. Otherwise, if you want to provide to others, then give to the group or any other people. That you can give with the CS mode command. Okay. So as such, login info. This is how we provide the how we invoke the script. Okay. So it will just go ahead and execute. File name must be a SMSL good and not a binary file. Must provide the full path through the shell processor. Okay. If you are invoking through SH, you need to provide the full path of that scripting, right? So as of now, we are created in the current directory. So we just note, you don't have to give any path, a relative path or an absolute path. So because we are there in the folder itself, okay, or directory itself. So let's go ahead and give the permission CS mode u users any u plus x execution and reading login info. Okay, then login info. Make a file executable by using this command. Use path variable to locate shell script. So this is very important, and if you want to specify your command, uh, so that any other people which who are using this environment, right, who can use your script as a command. So what you need to do is you need to give this permissions, and also you need to specify the path, and you need to dollar path is the, if you print the dollar path, it will have the combination of it will have the comma delimited paths, bin directory paths, where all this actual definition of cat command or command is there. Okay, so you need to give that path here in the path dollar path, and that will be used as a command for others to use. Okay, so this is very important because you can create your own command in the next. So another is cell variables. There are 6 or 7 types of cell variables: user-defined cell variables, environmental cell variables, okay, command substitution, positional parameters, predefined parameters, parameter substitution. So these are few concepts which will play a key role in Unix scripting. So let's go ahead and see what are all these concept. Okay, so user-defined variables are, you just go ahead and define the variable and the value. So this is just simple. Like if you want to give a name as Tom, and then you can print the name. If you want to print them, dollar name. Title C primer, subject electrical power. Now you don't have to specify any data type. So data type will be automatically be understood by Unix terminal or Unix environment. Okay. So just give name and the value. So these are the user-defined variables, and to display the value of a variable, you have to give dollar followed by the variable name. And if you want to display the display the output of particular output of those variables, then we specify. In many times you might have seen in the script, we specify set or set minus n variable. Set prints the output of the as it is, whatever commands you are going to execute, what are variables you are going to print. To undefine a variable using unset, you need to unset name, you are not using that variable into the script. Okay, and the read statement, read is to accept the input from the keyboard, right? So like any other language, scanf and printf, right? In C language, if you want to compare, so likewise we have a read here in Unix. So icon enter name, read is name, hello name, right? So these are the small things. Visibility of cell variables. Variables are visible only to the cell that created them. To make a variable available in the cell, you have to export it. Child cell cannot change the environment of parent cell. What is child cell? Then let's say we are in the cell, then we sh it, sh, and we give some name, then it will become the child cell. So child cell cannot modify the parent cell, but vice versa is possible. And also if you want to we want to want to declare variable and that should be visible to others, then you have to export it. Okay, so so sh is used for invoking a child cell. Okay, variable 100 echo dollar where it will display the nothing. If you go into the child cell, this, then it won't display anything, right? Then exit, come outside, and then display, it will display as 100. Export where make variable visual in child cell, then sh invoke a child cell, then echo, it will display because it's a variable in the environment. Okay, so where 200, then echo display 200, then exit return to parent, echo display 100, because the this variable, right, after going into the child cell, we have modified the value of the var, but that is not displayed because this is limited into the child environment, so that is not available in the parent. Okay, the now environment variable are should be in uppercase used by the cell can be set in dot profile. So what happens when we log into the Linux environment is, so there is a dot profile is invoked automatically, or probably we can, after login we can, if we want to prepare the environment, so we need to go ahead and run this dot profile uh, okay, script. So in dot profile there will be a different you know so there will in the dot profile we can specify or customize our environment. So the environment level variables are log name, which is login name of the user, cd path, the search path for cd, okay, home default argument home directory. Path is the search path for commands. Path, dollar path we said, right? So the path will contain the exact locations of your command is command definitions, right? PS1 is the primary prompt, PS2 is the secondary prompt, okay? Primary prompt is dollar, secondary prompt is by default is angular bracket, okay? Shell, name of the cell, terminal, terminal, okay? Now command substitution, how command substitution works? Then asterisk, okay? So variables created by commands surrounded by a grave accent. Okay, variables value is the output of the command. So this grave accent, right? Current directory pwd echo dollar current directory. Okay. So what it will print is current working directory. Okay. Echo total number of user logged in are who. So if you are specifying with grave accent, so it will print output as it is. A20 B30C expression. EXPR is another command which we use to evaluate the expression in line. Okay, EXPR $A plus $B. So there should be one space between EXPR and $A, and then again one space here before before plus and after plus one space. Okay. So if you are using like that, then only you can make use of EXPR expression. Echo $C will display the 50 because 32 plus 30 plus 20 is 50. Okay. Now let's go ahead and see. So double quotes used to process some info inside of them before output echo hello my name is this one, output hello my name is Ness. So dollar name, okay. So echo dollar foo used to show hyphen single quotes used to show the output as it will output hello my name is this one. So the difference between double quote and single quote is that double quote process the variable and show the value while single quotes show the name of the variable without processing. So echo dollar is dollar foo. So if you are using single quotes, then it won't translate into the exact value of the variable. Okay. Asterisks used to quote command that are later assigned to another variable. Okay. Then there are positional parameters. So whenever we call the script, right? So after the script, we will have some input variables. We can call it as input variable as well. Parameter test1 welcome to Unix. Welcome is another variable, 2 is another variable, Unix is another variable. So these are the positional parameters, or we can call as a parameter. So number of argument passed is $#3. Echo number of the shell script. So the name of the shell script is parameter test underscore 1. Value of the first argument is welcome. Value of the second argument is $2 in the sense value is 2. TO. Value of the third argument is Unix. Okay, $3. So likewise, we have command shift n. So n is 1 by default. If you specify shift, so it will shift by 1. So this command is used in looping thing when we iterate from using loop. So we will shift all the parameters and we will do some operation on parameter basis. So shift the variable by n position causes position parameter $2 $3 to be renamed as $1 $2. Okay, so whenever shift happens, then $2 $3 becomes $1 and $2 because the one shift, right? $hash is reduced by 1. Okay, so now our parameter test underscore 1 welcome to Unix. Okay, so displays the output of predefined shell variable after an initial shift. Okay, so shift I have given the number of argument passed is $hash. So after shift there will be what is the 2, right? Name of the shell script will be remain same. Name of first argument will remain what? 2. value of the second argument will be Unix, right? So with that, we're going to end this session. Thank you so much.